A new hype is taking the art world by storm. Some artists are now earning tens of millions for their digital works of art. And this is thanks to so-called NFTs, non-fungible tokens. So what are they exactly?
NFT is een digitaal eigendomsbewijs.
It's kind of like a container for value on a blockchain.
NFTs have recently become the new toys of mostly young art collectors with a lot of crypto money earned through investments in cryptocurrencies. Backlight visited the biggest international art fair in Miami and spoke to some of the pioneers of NFT art.
I think that everyone in the art world is going to be accepting cryptocurrency very soon.
En dat is voor het eerst volgens mij in de geschiedenis van de mensheid dat kunstenaars gewoon geld aan het verdienen zijn.
In this land of plenty, where the sun never sets and crypto money flows seamlessly, NFT artists are the new prophets.
Obviously, when you get something of this amount of value, it's challenging to the existing power structures because, yeah, money is a representation of power, right?
Maar wie zijn dan de nieuwe Warhols? Wie zijn de nieuwe Basquiats? En daar zitten we nu eigenlijk gewoon middenin.
Is this a fairy tale, too good to be true? A dangerous pyramid scheme? Or a sign of change that goes way beyond art?
So if you ask me why NFTs are important right now, why NFT art is important right now, it is the genesis, the beginning of a new civilization.
Welcome to the wondrous world of NFTs. Here under the Miami palm trees, the main international art fair takes place every year. Wealthy collectors from all over the world come to Art Basel Miami Beach, a Swiss art fair, to buy art and check out the latest trends. Paintings and sculptures are sold like hotcakes. But this year, there's also a new genre, digital art sold with NFTs. The new hype attracts a lot of attention and a new kind of crowd as well.
Yeah, it is really beautiful.
Vote for me, I'm running for NFTism. I have this tattoo, NFTism. It's a digital certificate of authenticity. It sits on a smart contract which piggybacks on an Ethereum cryptocurrency. But NFTism is all these people here that are listening that care. This is a piece I made called Crypto Artists Union. Imagine if Andy Warhol was alive today. He would have been the most proactive employer. This is a sculpture of Andy Warhol that originated through a computer file that I made, and a video and an animation, but it's also an object. So digital art has many different lives. It can exist as a painting, it can exist as a sculpture, as a photograph, there's a hologram. NFTs and digital technology is not tomorrow, it's here. It's here today, it's in the fair, like snuck into the Basel Art Fair. You can almost see like a divide. You see the traditional art world and you see the digital art world. It's a tool. It's enabled artists to sell their work by themselves without relying on external gatekeepers, which has never existed in history before. This is breaking down the hierarchies of these galleries, creating opportunities for people, inspiring people, and telling people, instead of always saying you can't come to this gallery, you can't buy something, looking people up and down and pigeonholing people and categorizing people. This is the opposite of that. You don't need to be in the Basel Art Fair to be an NFT artist. I mean, there are platforms like Rarible and OpenSea where anyone could do this. There's Tezos. Everyone here could mint an NFT before they leave the convention center.
For those with cold feet, crypto coin Tezos has an installation at the art fair where visitors can make an NFT themselves. In a work by artist Mario Klingemann, they become part of an algorithmic image.
Wait, that's you, Mom, no?
No, it's just you. See? It's capturing just your face.
Okay, and I see that here?
Yeah.
What do I do?
They create an image on the spot as an NFT, a practice called minting. It's saved digitally in a so-called crypto wallet.
Mom, your eye.
Does it look like me?
And this makes them the owner of the image. and they can sell it on if they want.
I think this looks just like my mom. Oh my gosh.
Now, and you have now minted an NFT. Is this your first NFT?
Yeah.
You're going to click on that, and it will load in about 5 minutes. It uploads in batches, but your personal NFT that you just created, utilizing Mario Klingman's algorithm, utilizing his digital art, is going to be on there.
And why did it look like a small child?
So essentially, when you stand there and scan the QR code, it's his digital art, and he specializes in AI. So he's created an algorithm. It will use elements of you, and it will incorporate elements of you within the piece.
Okay.
So if you're smiling, if you're moving, so that's just what it elicited with your
child.
face. It utilized 5 points on your face.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes people love that small child look. They love it.
How long are you there for?
I don't know. I might go back to Amsterdam. I want to see my kids.
Okay. Further down, we meet Dutch artist Ralph Nauter from Studio Drift. His first NFT was sold even before the art fair opened and has been taken down already.
I don't think many people can say that this week.
He's still trying to get his head around what just happened.
Dat is een hele lijst. Jij had van alles, toch? We hebben net ons werk verkocht. Onze eerste NFT in samenwerking met Don Diablo en Drift. En ja, daar zijn we natuurlijk hartstikke blij mee.
Wie heeft het werk gekocht?
Ja, het is een verzamelaar, een oude bekende van Don, die al eerder werk van hem heeft. En hij heeft het werk ook niet gezien op de beurs, maar dat is heel erg typisch NFT. En ja, die heeft het gekocht voor zijn verzameling. Hier zie je dus de NFT die gemint is. Ons sterrenstelsel, gemaakt uit blokken. Dus we hebben de complexiteit van ons sterrenstelsel teruggebracht naar naar een menselijke maat die wij begrijpen. En dus ook weer naar de referentie van het bouwen in systemen zoals mensen doen om zelf alles te kunnen begrijpen en te klassificeren. Dit is dus wat gemint is, maar dus de koper krijgt er dus ook het fysieke werk bij. En dat heet een digital, noemen ze dat. Dus je ziet eigenlijk een fysiek blok wat licht geeft, waarbij in de augmented reality digitaal een planetenstelsel omheen draait in blokvorm.
Hoeveel heeft het opgebracht?
Ja, het is heel gek om over prijzen te spreken als je kunstenaar bent, maar in de NFT-community is dat heel normaal. Weet je wel? Iedereen is daar heel open over. Dat heb ik vanuit mijn oude praktijk heb ik dat nog niet meegemaakt, maar het is verkocht voor 550.000, waarbij alles boven 500.000 rechtstreeks naar een organisatie in Afrika gaat voor het hergroenen van 360 hectare in Afrika met dit werk.
En waarom vond je dat belangrijk?
NFT's zijn vervuilend en het is denk ik erg belangrijk om een boodschap te brengen van jongens, we kunnen ook met het ophalen van financiële middelen kunnen we iets terugdoen.
Maar jij krijgt dan ethers of je krijgt dollars?
Ik wil graag de ethers. Ja, zeker. Tuurlijk. Nou ja, want daar gaat het over. Ik bedoel, het is natuurlijk een disruptive nieuwe technologie die het oude financiële systeem doorbreekt, weet je wel. Dus je hebt daar heel veel mogelijkheden in om dingen te herstructureren. Dus ik wil daar wel onderdeel van zijn. En ja, dollars, dat is de oude wereld.
Ik ben nu de laatste hand aan het leggen. Ik ben muziek aan het componeren voor een nieuwe NFT in samenwerking met Drift. Dus eigenlijk is het een audiovisueel kunstwerk, beeld en geluid. En nu ben ik nog een beetje aan het fine-tunen, de laatste details en de geluidseffecten. En uiteindelijk komt daar dan één werk uit van ongeveer 2 minuten. En dat wordt dan een nieuwe NFT. Ik kan nu alles creëren wat ik wil. Zowel visueel als fysiek, als qua audio, geluid, kan ik gewoon een hele nieuwe wereld bouwen. En dan ga ik denken, hoe kan ik dit ook weer visueel presenteren? Dat het niet zeg maar een loopje is op je telefoon, maar dat het ook echt iets is wat je voelt. Je kan dus iets digitaal verkopen. Mijn idee was van oké, dat is leuk, maar ik wil het ook kunnen zien, kunnen voelen. Dus wat nou als je een digitale file verkoopt, een digitaal kunstwerk, als een NFT op de blockchain, en je zet het vervolgens op een cartridge. Die cartridge die kan je vasthouden. Dit geeft ook een beetje dat gevoel van een oude game, zeg maar. Dat oldschool gaming gevoel. Die steek je dan in je kast. Hier aan de zijkant. En dan vervolgens gaat eigenlijk jouw digitale file zichzelf in de fysieke wereld laten zien. En dat is eigenlijk mijn eerste werk waar ik mee ben doorgebroken. Dit is een infinity loop. Die gaat de hele tijd altijd door, de rest van je leven. Dus ook een belangrijk ding binnen NFT's is dat het perfect loopt. Zodat je niet ziet waar iets begint en waar iets eindigt. De vergankelijkheid en de wegwerpcultuur van bijvoorbeeld muziek en beeld. Dat was wel iets waar ik heel graag een statement over wilde maken. Vooral ook met mijn tweede werk. Want wat mensen kijken naar dingen, ze luisteren dingen. En het is allemaal eigenlijk voor een paar euro per maand gratis te streamen, te bekijken of te downloaden. Dus de waarde van het creëren van iets is eigenlijk een beetje weg. En voor mij was het iets van, ja, ik moet altijd maar ergens optreden. Dan is er maar ergens een livestream, dat wordt maar gratis weggegeven. Kijk de hele wereld een beetje gratis mee naar wat ik daar sta te doen. Wat nou als ik het omdraai en ik ga een werk maken waarbij je een uur lang een soort van film hebt, waarbij je alles in zit wat ik creatief kwijt wil. Wat zou dan de waarde daarvan zijn? En op het moment dat je die waarde kan vastleggen, dan gaan mensen misschien ook anders denken over de andere dingen die je maakt. En dan krijgen ze misschien wat meer waardering of wat meer gevoel bij dingen die je dag in dag uit gratis weggeeft. Op dit moment ben ik de highest averaging artist in de NFT-space. Dus dat betekent dat de gemiddelde prijs van een werk van mij is op dit moment de hoogste van elke kunstenaar in de wereld. Ja, het eerste werk eindigde op ongeveer 120 Ethereum. Het was heel mooi, want voor de final auction was ik naar mijn moeder gegaan. We zaten bij haar thuis en zij luisterde eigenlijk met een half oor mee, want ze snapte er eigenlijk niet zo heel veel van nog. Maar ik vond het wel bijzonder om dit te doen bij mijn moeder thuis, want dat is ook ooit waar ik begonnen ben met muziek maken. En het voelde voor mij heel erg full circle. En op een gegeven moment was de auction klaar en we eindigden op 120 Ether. En mijn moeder zei toen, want er staat een eetje, de legendarische woorden, wauw, 120 euro. En ja, die was helemaal blij. Die was heel trots op mij. Je hebt je eerste werk verkocht voor 120 euro. Ik zeg, hé mam, een ether is ongeveer $2500 waard op dit moment. Dus die ging snel uitrekenen, 120 keer 2500 is wel iets meer dan 120 euro. En dat voelde ook voor mij, dat was de eerste keer dat ik me ook echt erkend voelde als kunstenaar. Dat vond ik eigenlijk een heel bijzonder moment wat ik heel erg graag wilde delen met mijn moeder. Van hey, wat ik maak is niet alleen wegwerpcultuur, het is ook kunst.
Ethereal, so stoked about this. I got invited by the legends, the OGs in the game, Trevor Jones, a lot of money to work on this epic one-of-one drop.
De mensen die je tegenkomt zijn ook een beetje de rebellen van de wereld. Die ook gewoon durven, tegen de stroom in durven te gaan. En dat inspireert heel erg. En ik ben toen door een collector gekoppeld aan Trevor Jones. Toen zijn we samen aan de slag gegaan. En dit is zo tof, want ja, Trevor is gewoon iemand die had... vorig jaar was hij bijna bankroet. Nu heeft hij al volgens mij inmiddels meer dan 40 miljoen bij elkaar geschilderd.
Very proud to be a part of this digital NFT, physical piece with augmented reality filter, print plus a piece of ownership of the future.
Miami wants to become the crypto capital of the world. The mayor has asked to be paid in Bitcoin, and he wants residents to be able to pay their local taxes with cryptocurrencies as well. A lot of the young crowd at the art fair also got their wealth through speculation in Bitcoin and other digital currencies. We speak to crypto investor and NFT artist Christa Kim. She calls herself a futurist, but gets her inspiration from art history.
I love Rothko. He's an incredible artist that really sort of broke convention. He was a rebel, and he was able to completely redefine beauty, redefine the standards of what art is. It could be anything. It could be a feeling. It doesn't have to be something literary. It could be non-conformist. It could be more free. And then, of course, there's James Turrell, who is like a rock star to me, you know, using light. Light is a medium in itself. Truly an inspiration for me. I used to paint. I entered a Masters of Fine Art program in Singapore, and it was then where I felt that it was redundant for me to pursue painting as a medium because I was so addicted to my phone. I thought, well, if I'm feeling it on an individual level, then that means billions of people around the world are also feeling it. And then I started thinking, well, I need to create art that is communicating to people through digital. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to create Zen consciousness in the digital medium so I could bring Zen into the 21st century and beyond through my work. So my work became a healing mechanism for me. So when I create the work, it makes me feel good. We have a physiological response to the color and light of the screen, right? So the screen, I realized, can be repurposed, and technology can be repurposed for well-being and for humanity. During the height of the COVID crisis, I was daydreaming about my dream home. I was like stuck in my condo in Toronto. Everyone was in lockdown globally. I think everyone can relate that you start to imagine a better place to be. So I actually designed the Mars house during that period. And then knowing that I can experience this house in VR, that I can have people join me and experience it together, this was an exciting journey for me. It was bought by Art on Internet, who's a very well-known collector in the space. He bought it for $512,000 US, 288 Ether. In March. And it was a record at the time. Every major news outlet picked up the story because people had to know, why are people paying more for a digital house than a real house? I wrote a manifesto in 2014, Techism, because I knew back then that we need art at the forefront of technology. So the artist's role is to be leaders, to be creators of new worlds, to collaborate with engineers, to collaborate with technology, and to create a humane future.
Do you guys like Andy Warhol?
Yes.
All right.
So Andy Warhol, of course, Basquiat, best friends. I like some of Andy Warhol. Some of the stuff,
The one that I really like, besides Marilyn Monroe, is I don't know if you saw the one of the money sign. All right, so there's me, of course, and Andy Warhol's shoes.
Gotta show the jacket.
Oop, oh, we got it.
Are you here to buy?
So if we see something we like, most definitely. I'm interested in a couple different pieces. I'm looking for a very large-scale piece that I can put in my dining room.
How about NFTs?
I'm not very experienced on NFTs.
Oh man, I'm not a fan of NFTs, right? This is the piece that I don't get. All right, we can take a picture, and based on my understanding of NFT, there's like the authenticity factor that's associated with the code. But that doesn't mean that everyone else can have the same picture. How valuable is it to me to say that I have the authentic piece to pay X amount for something that everyone else can still see.
We're talking about like the value that we put on objects in general, right? Whether you're buying a Louis Vuitton shirt, or whether you're buying a Coach shirt, or whether you're buying a Dollar General a Hanes T-shirt, right? It's the value that we say that it's worth.
Right. That's where the money really comes in. It's from the authentication. No different than like baseball cards and, you know, memorabilia, where it's just like, you know, okay, is this an authentic Barry Bonds signature, or is this something that someone just made and wrote? You know what I'm saying? So when you get to the authentication, that's where everything changes.
The authenticity is in the code. Who's checking code to see if this digital representation is the authentic?
Lawyers.
Anyway. So there's so many.
Some of the art collectors have nagging questions about the digital proof of ownership. Not surprisingly, NFTs are the hottest topic at the fair.
Historically, I think this entire culture and technology is probably at the stage where the internet was in '95. And in '95, there was no Google, no Amazon, no smartphone. And it was a time of extreme experimentation. And I feel the spirit is in the air now. And there's not a standard way to deal with it. You know, there are pure NFTs. There are NFTs who have also physical artworks connected to them. And
Harm van den Dorpel, a Dutch digital artist regarded as a visionary of the first hour, is asked to explain the new territory of NFTs.
I was really surprised because I had been a digital artist for quite a while and hadn't really been successful in making money with that. And then basically this year we woke up one day and look on the internet and it's like, oh, the whole world gets it now. And this was actually really annoying because I was like, why didn't you get it earlier? And also, why are these incredibly ugly NFTs being sold for so much money?
Thanks to his background in computer science, Harm understands the technology behind NFTs better than most.
Het is allemaal nog erg nieuw en er gaan ook nog vaak dingen stuk. Dus we moeten nog veel uitzoeken. Het moet veel gebruiksvriendelijker worden om op grote schaal mensen dit te laten gebruiken. En het is ook zo riskant, omdat als je je sleutel kwijt bent van je wallet, dan ben je je geld gewoon kwijt. Er is nooit een bank die je kunt bellen om het weer even te fixen. Ik hou heel erg van Bach als componist. En als ik Bach luister, dan kan ik soms in tranen uitbarsten, zo mooi vind ik het. En dat is een abstracte schoonheid. Ik ben kunstenaar. Ik heb veel digitale kunst altijd gemaakt. En dat was altijd moeilijk te verkopen. Dat was heel onduidelijk wat er gekocht wordt. Ook omdat je digitale kunst gewoon kunt rondkopiëren. Er is eigenlijk geen origineel. En toen in 2015 kwam ik in aanraking met blockchain-technologie. De NFT's die ik heb gemaakt, die maken ook gebruik van de interne logica van de blockchain zelf. Als een soort input voor een visueel programma dat voor mij een beeld genereert. Een soort tweedimensionaal gelaagd, gekleurd compositie, wat eigenlijk best wel modernistisch uitziet. Ik ben echt typisch een Nederlandse kunstenaar. Mondriaan-achtig misschien. Misschien ben ik daar romantisch, maar op een of andere manier moet ik altijd dingen maken waarvan ik hoop dat ze mooi zijn. Daar wil ik het over hebben. Over esthetiek. Hoewel ik veel technologie gebruik in mijn werk, zoals blockchain of genetische algoritmes, gaat mijn werk toch uiteindelijk niet om dat ik de allernieuwste, coolste, complexe technologie gebruik. Ik gebruik eigenlijk vaak een beetje oudere algoritmes. Wat ik ook wel zo'n algoritmische archeologie noem. Dus onze maatschappij, dus alle systemen die we hebben, dat zijn opeenstapelingen van vergissingen van programmeurs die gecorrigeerd worden door andere programmeurs die daarna komen. Maar dat was altijd moeilijk om die digitale kunstwerken op hetzelfde niveau te laten opereren als een schilderij of als een sculptuur. Omdat toch begeerte van mensen om iets te willen bezitten, dat heeft toch op een bepaalde manier ook met schaarste te maken. En daardoor kon die kunst nooit, die digitale kunst kon nooit zich helemaal verhouden tot het grotere verhaal van de kunstgeschiedenis. Waar ik in alle bescheidenheid dacht ik toch dat mijn digitale beelden interessant konden zijn in relatie tot al die beelden die er al eerder gemaakt zijn. Ik heb een editie gemaakt van 512 tokens. En die is in juli gedropt, heet dat dan. Dus dan kunnen mensen online die kopen. En die waren in 2,5 uur uitverkocht. En dat is heel gek, want normaal heb je een opening of een festiviteit of een event waarbij je dan allemaal mensen hebt bij elkaar. Maar ik zat gewoon alleen in mijn studiootje. En dat geld dat begon maar binnen te lopen. Poeng, ting, 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 als een soort jackpot. Ja, dat was heel surrealistisch. Wat dat betreft is dat hele NFT-circus wat er nu is ook een soort bevestiging van dat al die jaren nerd zijn. Dat het nu ineens cool is of zo. Ja.
Hoe gaat het met je wallet?
Ja, het gaat wel goed. Het is wel... De valuta's zijn een beetje down, dus dan is het altijd een beetje eng. Maar het komt wel weer goed.
Kun je de rest van je leven op het strand liggen?
Oeh.
Jij niet.
Ik niet, zij wel. Dan maak je zorgen dat er zand in de scharnier van je laptop komt. Ja.
In the financial heart of Miami, Christie's auction house has organized an exhibition of NFTs. Artist Christa Kim takes Veritas there. He buys NFTs for the wealthy Indian crypto king Meta Kovan.
How are you, brother?
Perfect.
Oh my God! Thank you for coming, guys.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Lead the way.
His company, Metapurse, paid about 60 million euros for the most expensive digital artwork ever.
I have to do the sauna.
Yeah.
I need a sauna massage.
Ooh.
I'm gonna get a massage tomorrow.
Let me know how it is, because
Yes.
I need one.
We need to wait for her? Yes, we're here. Oh, she's here. Okay, cool.
This is all brand new art. It's never been seen before. Every single art piece here is up for sale. So you can actually bid on it right now. The auction is live on superrare.com.
It's a good mix of OG crypto and like the Snoop Goldie is a new one. So
169
and the Ross Albright is a new
one as well.
Beautiful.
That's right here.
Okay.
And just witness it. See what happens. See what you feel.
Stunning piece.
This was one of my favorite parts that just happened. It reminded me of the planet. It sounds a bit weird, but it kind of reminds me of sperm as well, populating and growing. Because ultimately, as humans, we're creators. In this space, a lot of us were nobodies before entering this space, and usually art is driven by people outside the mainstream. And so maybe 20 years ago, this would not have been considered art. It would have been considered something else. And that's what I meant, you know, we're nobodies, and through crypto, we're finding our identities. It looks like he's burning down this symbol of wealth, yet he himself is wearing Balenciaga, the gold chain, and the ring. It's this idea of new money, and for a lot of people, they've entered the crypto space, they're nobodies, and suddenly there's this wealth they've never seen in their life. And so some people will indulge in materialistic pleasures. Some people will still challenge that, you know? This shirt's from 2014. So it's an old shirt. I said the chain I'm wearing is a gift from my wife. You know, I don't think we should seek out material pleasures in the same way, excesses. But pieces like this always make me laugh, and I enjoy these because in the crypto community, you can see that there's this esotericism, there's this spiritualism, yet there's also this embodiment of materialism and jokes about luxury brands, Lamborghinis. You know, it's pretty funny.
My piece is over there.
Ah.
All of my artwork is in 4K because the intention is to live with it. Put it on a giant screen and live with the piece in your home.
What is the role of artists in the future?
Leaders, cultural leaders. I believe that, especially for entering into the metaverse, we are now at a turning point like no other in human history. You know, there's so much disruption in the world that the world is literally a blank canvas. And now even more so with the metaverse. And the metaverse is an extension of the universe that is digital. It's a mirror of our actual universe with infinite possibilities of creation. It is the greatest art project in history. And it is also the greatest creative renaissance in human history. Every creator can participate in a decentralized fashion, meaning there are no rules. You can express yourself as individuals. It's decentralized to create your own worlds. There's never been a time like this in history where you can actually monetize on it, because NFTs allow us to attach our creations to monetary value and to trade to monetize.
Yeah, we are proud to present the piece that you will be seeing shortly. Make videos, tag me, tweet to me, enjoy it, and yeah, I hope you enjoy my concept of the metaverse and what is to come in the future. Mijn idee wat een kunstenaar kan doen is mensen een bepaald comfort geven. En het geeft je een identiteit om je te onderscheiden van de rest en om uniek te zijn. En dat is denk ik wat kunst nu in de toekomst nog meer gaat doen. Want dat is ook heel erg het gevoel wat leeft in de NFT-space. Is van, hé, wij zijn nu onderdeel van iets heel revolutionairs. Dat geeft ook een stukje identiteit en zelfvertrouwen. Er ontstaat een soort van vrijheid en democratie. En kapitalisme is denk ik waar nu een beetje de nadruk op wordt gelegd, maar dat is het dus juist niet. Want het gaat dus juist heel erg over het verspreiden van resources.
Wat voor mij als kunstenaar heel gek is dat er altijd toch al een soort scheiding was tussen het kunstwerk en de marktwaarde daarvan. En het is eigenlijk ook altijd niet echt zuiver gezien als je als kunstenaar de markt en het creatieve proces, als die te dicht bij elkaar komen. Dan zeggen mensen, dan ga je concessies doen of dan word je commercieel. En die scheiding die altijd in stand gehouden is tussen het geld en het kunstwerk, is nu helemaal weg. Want het kunstwerk is een currency. De tokens van mijn werk worden verhandeld. Elke zoveel dagen wisselen die weer handen. Wat daar wel heel leuk aan is dat elke keer als zo'n token van hand wisselt voor een bepaald bedrag, dat ik als kunstenaar weer een percentage daarvan krijg. Dat heeft alles veranderd. Want als je een token bezit, dan is het in je voordeel om daarover te schrijven dat dat een interessant kunstwerk is. Want daardoor zou de waarde stijgen. En als je dat kunstwerk dan weer verkoopt, maak je winst. Dus social media is nu ineens voor NFT-verzamelaars een soort campaign geworden om de kunstwerken die zij in hun collectie hebben continu aan te prijzen, zodat de waarde toeneemt, zodat ze die op secondary market weer voor meer kunnen verkopen. En daardoor is het nu voor mij vaak op social media niet helemaal meer duidelijk of mensen werkelijk het kunstwerk wat ik gemaakt heb zo mooi vinden, of dat ze verwachten dat ze het voor meer kunnen verkopen en daardoor zeggen dat ze dus een markt ervoor creëren. En dat is een soort, daar ben ik nog niet helemaal over uit wat ik daar precies van vind. Dat heeft ook zo'n snelheid. Dat is echt een nieuw fenomeen. Maar ja, alle kunstenaars profiteren er hard van. Dus, en dat is voor het eerst volgens mij in de geschiedenis van de mensheid dat kunstenaars gewoon geld aan het verdienen zijn. Van Gogh is ook arm gestorven.
I came into cryptocurrencies through art, so I'm not a speculator. I don't hold cryptocurrencies with a speculative value. I'm interested in the creative possibilities that it offers me as an artist. I can show you a little bit. Let me show you these. It's pretty cool. So here's the, here's Cash Wars. This is the .com seance site. We're about to go live next week. We try and revive companies that have been dead in a seance. So it's a crypto seance for companies that died in 2001. We're calling it a .com seance, and we're kind of bringing them back to life by putting descriptions into a machine learning system that outputs what might have been the logos of those companies. And so this is what the logo looked like in 1999 before it crashed. Then here's a machine learning output version of what it might have been. And then Gogh has done this amazing kind of version of what that logo might have been today. So it's like a meeting of kind of two different eras of the internet. Yeah, so these are some of the other kind of machine learning versions of what those logos might have looked like. Whoops. And yeah, all of those will be revived as NFTs. So when you buy them, you'll kind of get a Cash Wars logo and also an address. So in a way, it'll be like a new company born today that was dead in 2001. So that was yeah, why we're calling it a .com seance. Yeah.
How will this be sold?
Basically, you will go to like a website, and you will look at these assets, and if you want to buy one, you can kind of click on it, connect it to your Ethereum wallet, and pay some gas, some transaction fees to the miners, and then you'll have that asset in your wallet. One of the interesting things about NFTs and crypto in general is that the kind of financial asset and the artistic asset are closer together. As an artist who's been working in the art world for a long time, as we know, the prices of all sorts of artworks are as important in terms of hierarchy as like, and how things are collected and cared for. Prices are tethered to, value. Cryptocurrencies and NFTs are giving more possibilities to artists to reflect the world in new ways, but it's also bringing different forms of wealth and power into the ecosystem of saying what is valuable and making canons. So I think it's challenging who gets to say what is important and who gets to say what is important culture and what is valuable culture. And of course, if it's doing that, that's quite fundamental to museums and galleries as they exist. I think it's bringing a whole new group of people in with, like different ideas of what interesting artwork is and different ideas of what's valuable. So it's kind of similar to the money system in a way. It's like suddenly there's a whole bunch of people who can say, this thing's important. I'm going to put this amount of value behind this particular asset. And you might have these other canons that put value in a different way on this type of tradition. Here we come with all of the legitimacy of this amount of money or this amount of value, and we're going to point towards a different type of asset which has different sorts of values behind it.
NFTs are still regarded as risky by traditional investors. But new groups of investors unite in purchasing funds, the so-called DAOs, to speculate on the value of NFTs going up. Their digital art collections attach value to a new kind of art.
My background, I used to work in traditional finance. I worked at Goldman and Blackstone before. We have one of the largest collections of very native crypto art. And the artwork went up in value, and this, in times, increased the value of the tokens themselves. I was very interested in this particular collection of early NFTs from 2019. We call Autoglyphs. They are the first instance where you have a full artwork entirely on the Ethereum blockchain. It's a generative art piece using a lot of reference from Saul Lewitt. From the 60s, the idea of the wall drawings, like a set of instructions. It's the same, but on the blockchain, purely digitally. This is a very innovative collection. It spun a big movement in generative art that now it's gigantic in crypto. Some people say, oh, it looks like a QR code or something like this. But I think what moves me, and when I understand like the significance of it, is the whole process. So in a way, it's not the output, but it's the way the process was done. This to me is like I'm really moved by innovation more than the aesthetic of it.
You own this work now.
Yeah, you own the codes. The idea of this new paradigm is for you to own something that everybody can see, but only you can be the true owner. Now the market price of our autoglyph is like $1 million, and we have one of the largest collections of autoglyphs.
People are making a huge amount of money, but the wealth creation is not out of nothing. Where's that money coming from?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a complicated question, right? Because I think, and this is what I think intellectually is quite interesting about cryptocurrencies in general, from my perspective, is that they make you challenge what value is and how value is allotted in society. Like, who gets to decide what's valuable, who gets to kind of navigate economies, who gets to control economies. These are the types of things that, private money, the existence of private money, non-state issued money, doesn't matter if it's digital or not, challenge, right? Because suddenly a group of people are kind of producing something that is, claiming to have value, is used like it has value, that is not coming from within that same power structure. It makes you think about who is giving legitimacy to what. I think that is the kind of true power of those stories, right? If somebody can just make up a transnational, supranational currency out of nowhere, seemingly, and do that within a particular network system design paradigm, and it can work and scale in the way that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies has, it really does make you think, okay, well, what is value? What is money? Why do I use it in this way? Why has this person got a lot? Why has this person not got so much?
Imagine a world where trust is guaranteed. A world without borders. A world in which each and every one of us takes part in the whole. This world is already here, embedded in the blockchain. It is a system enabling each and every one of us to take part in the real, vast, marvelous, ever-changing pattern of human interaction, governed only by ourselves, enabled by a code belonging to all, reflecting all.
I'm a woman who was intimidated by the space and didn't feel that there was necessarily a welcome place for me, and now I know that there is one.
But how will the economy of blockchain and crypto develop? Will the NFT bubble burst? And if so, when?
This has a number of technological innovations that are going to have real impacts in the world. It creates scarcity for something that was not scarce before. In the end, people are spending their attention on these cultural items, and this is valued by them. So ultimately, I think it also creates wealth because it's creating this new attention. You are allowing a new way for people to create value through a cultural manifestation in the world, and people are valuing it very clearly.
So the attention is the asset?
I think attention is the most scarce asset. You only have 24 hours in your day. So ultimately, that's how you decide to spend your time is how you're going to be valuable. Facebook noticed that they want to make people spend more time in their apps, and that's how they create value. Netflix makes you spend more time in their app, and that's how they create value. This is just competing for attention with Facebook, Netflix, or everything else.
After the internet was created, the intention was to have a democratic, egalitarian society and people are connected to one another, but free and open. But Web 2 is when, you have the Apples, the Googles, the Facebooks that created surveillance capitalism, where they own your data, they monetize it, and, they create these huge, gigantic, powerful companies that own data. Data's power, data's the new oil. okay? Now, decentralization, what I'm talking about, is with NFTs. NFTs is basically what's going to empower the individual, because you have decentralized platforms where you can actually own part of the platform.
But Facebook, Zuckerberg, has already claimed the metaverse.
It doesn't mean that he actually is going to do it successfully. Because I believe that if Meta and Facebook want to survive, then they have to figure out how they're going to decentralize. Because the future generations are not going to give up their intellectual property, allow a company like Meta to own it and monetize on it, and they get nothing. The future is about empowering the individual to be sovereign, to own, and to monetize. That is the future. So IP is essential, and NFTs allow people to own their own IP and monetize on it. And if a company doesn't give you that option, they're just going to go to a company that does.
It's really blowing up, but yeah, it's really cool.
When NFTs came to the land, I finally saw this creative energy and thought, wow, it can bring community together from around the world. We're a bunch of people of color, a bunch of brown guys. We can now be patrons of the art. In the institutional world, even the president has joked about brown people as being good at running 7-Elevens. And it's these kind of jokes that some people will laugh, but it really upsets me, and it feels like, oh, you know, we can't ever be a patron of the arts. But now, through NFTs, we can enjoy art, not only individually, but together. A lot of times we call it the Renaissance that's happening. And we call this the real Renaissance, because the other one was the Western European or Judeo-Christian Renaissance.
Do you think many of people of color feel this way, that for them it represents a kind of new world where they can finally be equal?
Yeah, there's this idea in the Western world that, you know, crypto won't replace the US dollar or gold or other stores of value, and they don't fully understand it. However, in the developing world, Philippines, India, these places, crypto has given people digital wallets. They don't usually have bank accounts, so they've skipped that, as they've skipped landline and went straight to cellular technology. But it's also given them the ability to stay where they are and earn a livelihood, a rich livelihood. They can take part in the crypto ecosystem and live a life in their homeland. We're already living in a cosmopolitan world. This is just another extension of that.
You have to take your...
I'm gonna have to take my hat off.
Yes, love. Every pre-existing norm that we have in our current society will become fluid. And with NFTs, with the metaverse, people will be radically authentic. And radical authenticity will be the norm. If you're not authentic, people will find that odd. I think that's the beauty of the future that we're entering in. And that is facilitated through NFTs. So if you ask me why NFTs are important right now, why NFT art is important right now, it is the genesis, the beginning of a new civilization, one that supports decentralization. Once we get there, then we're going to create magic in the world.
It's true. Everybody can publish now. Everybody can have a voice on Twitter or whatever. And it's easier to collect. You don't have to know a gallerist. You don't have to go to a particular context. You can buy it wherever you want. But of course, yeah, not everybody can have access to the kind of money that it costs to. It's still an expensive thing to do, especially on the Ethereum blockchain. There's also a literacy issue, right? Not everybody understands and knows how to kind of move within those technical systems. So that's its own kind of barrier to entry, I would say. So, you know, unfortunately, when new paradigms come through, they often reproduce the biases of previous paradigms because they're built by similar power structures.
95% of the NFTs are bought by 5% of buyers.
Right, exactly. Yeah, there are these types of things, yeah. But
not very decentralized.
No, that's not very decentralized at all. That sounds to me like the art market, yeah, that I know and love, yeah.